Hold on.
Today we are going to be talking about the pros and cons of technology in the 21st century classroom. We are 4 educators who are teaching from a variety of schools across the United States and would like to share with you our findings of technology in the classroom. We will be talking about the constructive uses of technology, how to use social media creatively, some of the negatives of technology, and how the law pertains to social media. Social media can be constructively used in the 21st century through a variety of means. Social media may be an assistive tool which an educator uses when teaching, or it may be a means for which students can collaborate and learn from one another. A teacher can create polls for assignments in classes, give a group project assignment to students using Google Classroom, or simply post a thought of the day on the classroom's page of Facebook. Students can use social media to present group projects, hold debates, inform their peers about content area, and learn how to use technology effectively in their learning environment. Social media has done so much for schools because of the vast knowledge and information it brings to both educators and students alike. Quote, high-quality digital educational materials, tools, and resources offer students relevant, up-to-date, and innovative ways to acquire knowledge and skills. End quote. Teachers are able to show students how to sift through the knowledge of Wikipedia to deeper knowledge from peer reviews of literature. A whole new way of learning can be done through the resources offered in social media. In the 21st century classroom, social media has now become a framework from which learning occurs.
Some teachers may actually want to teach appropriate ways to use social media. Older students need to know the risks associated with posting on social media and the impact that a negative post can have on their futures. Employers often look at applicants' social media accounts, and very rarely would they ever hire someone posting inappropriate pictures or statuses that would not contribute positively to their image. Teaching students what's appropriate and what isn't could mean the difference between them landing in a career worth having or a dead-end job. Additionally, social media can certainly be used creatively in the classroom. We teach students to write and to aim for big goals in their writing. With social media, students can write for the world, or at least a larger audience than just the class. Another idea is allowing students to get multiple perspectives on an issue going on with the world by searching particular hashtags. What's more is that social media can help one classroom connect with another, whether it be in another school, in another part of the country, or an entirely different country. These examples show that social media, if used correctly, can actually enhance a student's education.
There are some risks to blogs, Twitter, Instagram, and other forms of social media. According to Mullen, Griffith, Green, and Lambie, quote, Facebook is an interactive website where participants can post forums, comments, pictures, or even videos, close quote. Forums, pictures, and videos can all be beneficial for students with appropriate guidelines. Teachers should review the proper etiquette for using social media in the classroom. With that being said, there is the risk of students posting inappropriate comments, pictures, videos, or even harassing others. Students may also get distracted on social media and might forget why they even logged in for the educational purpose. I know a teacher who teaches elementary school, and she keeps her parents and students up to date by having a classroom Instagram page. And some of the parents love it, but there's also that risk that if you have a child disciplined in the corner, or if a child's doing something embarrassing, that a parent might come up and might be angry about that. So you'll have potential dangers in that area. This past year, I had a blog in my class, and on the first day of school, I had a student write that she smoked weed in the blog. I had to report that to the principal, and it just wasn't a fun situation to deal with. Another risk is if students view pages that they shouldn't while using social media. On Instagram, all you have to do is tap the explore button. So if a child is searching for your classroom page, they're at 90% of the time, you're exposing children to pages that they do not need to see, such as women in bathing suits, half-naked women, inappropriate accounts. And as the teacher, if you're having social media in the classroom, you are liable for children seeing that stuff. So it's important that teachers take that in mind. According to Mullen et al., they state teachers can use social media to, quote, develop beneficial relationships with students that facilitate the student's opportunity to grow and develop through interactions that support their academic, personal, and career development, close quote. It is important that teachers remain professional in their relationships if their students are using social media. Some students may receive comments in a manner you did not intend through social media. Humor is one of these elements. If you're commenting on something that on a social media post or on a forum, it's important not to use humor because a child might not understand it behind a computer screen. They might not see as you would be in the classroom if you were tapping them on the back or smiling at them. So it's important that you refrain from those type of actions. Social media also poses a major risk for chat rooms or direct messaging. In order to avoid this, I highly recommend teachers communicating with students on an open forum where other people can read it at all times. Direct messaging is completely inappropriate when it comes to social media and teachers. Teachers should remember that they are to remain professional at all times. Another risk to social media is the risk of confidentiality and privacy. According to Mullen et al., if an educator is using social media for classroom uses, they may not share any information about a student's personal account with anyone. This may embarrass a child even if it's on their own page. So any kind of post they make, you are not allowed to bring that up, even to them just on a one-on-one situation. You should refrain and remain professional. According to Mullen et al., teachers must follow the FERPA laws when posting on social media or blogs. Because even though you might be bragging on a student, it is their privacy and right to remain protected through the teacher, even if it's through a positive grade. They continue by stating that some parents may view teachers using social media as unprofessional. Some parents might actually like the traditional mindset of a classroom, and they do not want the teacher using social media or encouraging social media because of unprofessional aspects. Social media should not dictate the flow of your classroom because students have that risk of staying on their phone during class or getting distracted, doing things that they shouldn't. And according to the SETDA, quote, digital content can be designed, created, and refined over time, close quote. Although they state this as a positive to digital learning, it can also be a negative. A teacher may have a friend who refined a digital lesson, and he or she may have used this at the high school level. Well, if they pass it on to you and you show your middle schoolers, it may not be appropriate for them based on the ads that pop up or any other site that you might see. You guys might have different values in life, and a teacher might think that this is okay, and she might not have any worry in the world. But you open up that link that they sent you, and you're like, oh man, I should not have used this. So with that being said, you cannot trust anything without reviewing it yourself first.
With today's youth, social media has become the unquenchable thirst. Students have a constant desire to access their phones and check the pings and vibrations that inform them of what is happening with their peers. The legal concerns begin when students bring to class their social media websites and applications. With cell phones being brought on school grounds, students now have opened up the gates to a new world of possibility. The positives that stem from allowing social media in the classroom might outweigh the negatives, but the liability issues is now skyrocketing. Students are able to take pictures and videos of their surroundings at the drop of a hat. Because of this, academic lines have begun to blur from a student's perspective. Students are aware that they are not allowed to take pictures of their teachers or their peers and post anything on a social media website without the teacher's explicit instruction. Teachers cannot post information on their social media sites either without the consent of a parent or guardian of the student. If a teacher were to be proud of his or her class, the teacher would not be allowed to brag on his or her students on a public site. This is a violation of FERPA rules and would violate a student's privacy. Legally, a school community would need to inform their students about the dangers of using social media sites. They would have to tell the students the consequences for misuse of social media on school grounds and off of school grounds. The important thing is that students and teachers are aware that they cannot post information online that includes details of a teacher or a peer's academic situation either. Students cannot post about their teachers, and their teachers cannot post about their students. Grades, academic standings, personal information, or opinions of any party are not supposed to be posted on social media sites that involve the school community. The important thing is that teachers understand that posting a picture of their student, there are certain circumstances where a student's face cannot be on a social media site, whether it be a certain divorce situation in those circumstances, or it be a witness protection program. There's certain times where a student's face cannot be online, and that's why a teacher needs explicit instruction from a parent or permission that allows for that to happen. Also, the liability issues lie within students posting things of teachers, because there's so many circumstances that once it's on the internet, it can't come off. So if a student were to write slander about a teacher, there's not much that the teacher can do once it's posted. So when incorporating social media in the classroom, there are many pros and cons. Each educator will have to decide for themselves if the risks are worth it. Creative elements that could stem from using social media are wonderful, but there are many legal issues that must be taken into consideration.